It really, really is. And, you know, there's a lot going on. Like, I don't know if you guys know this, but there's literally a floating island of garbage in the middle of the ocean right now. Yeah. I think it's called Puerto Rico.
I do love stand-up comedy. I'm very aware of him and the whole Kill Tony platform, and I've seen a lot of comedians, stand-up comedians, be like, it's wild how desperate people are to get onto that podcast and to get onto his shows, and there's people who sometimes will like move out there and literally sleep in their cars just for an opportunity to try and like potentially get on one of their open mic nights. He's basically a comedian who's known for a lot of let's just say edgy racist comedy, but also a lot of insult comedy as well. I have nothing against insult comedy, by the way. If done properly, I think it can be absolutely devastating. Again, punch up if you're punching up, right? Like, yeah, insult those with power. Insulting groups who are already disenfranchised is, again, pathetic and sad. And even if you are at a Trump rally, you would have thought that his entire routine killed. You know, like, this is probably the biggest audience he'll ever have in his entire life. So this is the biggest set he's ever going to do in his entire life. And they should be receptive to a lot of his, particular brand of comedy, but there was so much groans.
Riding swingers and put diamonds in our necklace. I'm drinking inside my lemonade till it look like a bitch. See, I come from the D where we got checks and we be flexing. If you ain't from my state, then you should know don't listen.
Madison Square Garden, how we feeling, huh? Wow, isn't this special? 17 years ago, I was sleeping in my car behind the Comedy Store in LA, and I'm proud to say this is my 4th time performing at Madison Square Garden, the most famous arena in the damn world. The American dream, alive and well, right here. This is very different than where I'm used to performing, though. I'm used to nighttime with people drinking, not so many babies in the crowd, and people that are obviously only here for Lee Greenwood tonight. Normally, I don't make my political beliefs a known thing. It's divisive for a comedian to do that, but just know I sleep well at night knowing who I'm voting for. Yeah. Yeah. When I lay down and my head hits...
Why is that, like, supposed to be divisive? Comedians, like, it's not a thing where, like, you have to, as a comedian, get out there. Like, I remember when George Carlin would come in front of a microphone. By the way, I'm a Democrat, or by the way, I'm a Republican. No, nothing like that. But it's very easy to discern what their beliefs were through their routines and stand-up and comedy and what exactly they chose to make jokes about, right?
It's my pillow. It is a fantastic pillow, by the way. I was staying at the Four Seasons up by Central Park one night, and I laid my head down, and it felt so good, and I thought to myself, what an amazing pillow. I have a little bit of money now. I could buy a good pillow. And I took the pillowcase off, and there it was. My pillow, my pillow, my pillow. And damn it, I bought 4 of them. And if you use the promo...
Wait, what? Where's the joke? You're just doing an ad. This is just an ad read.
Code KillTony, you can also buy 4 my pillows. There's serious stuff happening, people. I live in the great state of Texas now. 18 years in Ohio, 20 years in California, and I got to see California turn to absolute horrendous thing. And traveling the world, I got to see San Francisco turn into one of the most demented cities, one of the greatest downfalls I've ever seen. And that is where the other candidate worked for 2 decades. And it's absolutely wild to see. And in Texas, stuff is...
Again, where's the joke? This feels like you were basically just hoping that, like, open mic night, you could just riff, go free balling, not prepare. Like, I saw what happened to San Francisco. So many pores, gross, poor people everywhere, and that's where the other candidate worked. Yeah, my pillow.
Really, really crazy. We're right there by a wide open border. Where are my proud Latinos at tonight? You guys see what I mean? It's wide open. There's so many of them. It's absolutely incredible. Believe it or not, people, I welcome migrants to the United States of America with open arms. And by open arms, I mean like this.
I think Lauren Chen did better. I know we watched Lauren Chen's stand-up routine, and it's like, it's just so cringe. It's really hard to sit through. But, like, at least I feel like there was more, like, execution, like, attempts than this.
It's wild. And these Latinos, they love making babies too. Just know that. They do. They do. There's no pulling out. They don't do that. They come inside, just like they did to our country.
The reason I say open mic is that, like, if you don't know, open mic nights are usually where you get to try out some of your material and you start to craft the jokes, because you might have the idea of a joke, but you haven't really totally found out how the best way to deliver it is yet. So you might be like, okay, I'm going to try it, see what bombs, see what does well, and then I can kind of, you know, hone my craft and get ready for my actual set where I'm actually going to deliver a much more well-crafted joke. And you can tell right there, that's a good example of it, where he's got the pieces, right, of the puzzle. He's starting to put them into place, pull out okay, border, but also ejaculation, so baby, something's there, and then like he was almost there, so he reaches a little too quickly for the punchline, right?
Republicans are the party with a good sense of humor. Free speech is under attack, people. I host a show, and each week I get updates what words we're allowed to use and not use anymore. It's happening right now the past few years. It's a real thing. And, you know, used to be able to tell people to Google stuff. My mom's a boomer in the state of Ohio, and there's no convincing her of anything. She's eating the cats. She's eating the dogs. They're eating the pets up there.
And wow. And it's kind of funny. Maybe this bodes a little well for the future, that he's getting some groans and getting some like, you know, and then he's doing that thing where when you start to bomb, you start to do that thing where you start calling the audience out as if it's their fault for, you know, your lack of being funny. It's like, oh yeah, Republicans really, really love jokes, I tell you.
It is absolutely wild times. It really, really is. And, you know, there's a lot going on. Like, I don't know if you guys know this, but there's literally a floating island of garbage in the middle of the ocean right now. Yeah. I think it's called Puerto Rico. Okay. All right. Okay. We're getting there. Now, again, normally I don't follow the national anthem, everybody. This is an example.
So it's wild. He bombed, you know, he bombed, and he bombed again on one of the largest platforms he'll ever have. Like, I know he's played Madison, as he stated before, but this is still being televised for millions of people to be watching simultaneously. And yeah, you're with an audience that is going to be, I'd assume, very receptive to your particular brand of humor. And to the people who are trying to defend the set now, because this is actually, for the first time, getting the media to report on all of this shit properly. Like, whoa, it's like a whole bunch of people in the media suddenly like, oh, wait, that's where the Nazis had a rally and spread all those fascist ideas and talked about poisoning the blood of the nation and eugenics and stuff like that. This is kind of hearkening to this. And it's like, oh my God, wow, look at you, run forward, go do the thing you're actually supposed to do and report on this properly. Not USA Today. USA Today decided to go with a headline that was like, Trump rally focuses on immigration and border issues. And like, that was it. But like a lot of other people, especially a lot of people who happen to be Puerto Rican or Puerto Rican descent, are now, I mean, he activated Ricky Martin, J-Lo, Bad Bunny, like all these celebrities suddenly were like, fucking hell, you know, go donate to the Harris Waltz campaign, go volunteer for the Harris Waltz campaign instantaneously. Just like, holy shit, these people are really bad. But I saw a lot of people defending him too, being like, it's a joke. You know, he even tried to defend himself because he was going after AOC afterwards, being like, oh, you got to pull your tampon out. It was jokes. What, you don't like jokes? You don't like a stand-up set? Well, you're not at a comedy club. This is a political rally that you've chosen to speak at. You're one of the opening performers at a massive ass political rally where, yes, you're making your politics very known, very clear. So it's like the context. Yeah, sure. The context makes it worse. And like, what, y'all are going to be cowards and do the whole, like, it's just a prank, bro, but for this routine, like, oh, what, you don't have a sense of humor? Well, I mean, I don't think you do, and because your audience was definitely not reflecting that either, right? I don't see anyone really fucking being like, this is amazing.
Like a perfect comedy setup. There's some people here, all right, very good. I like it. I have other policies that I think it should be implemented as well. Like me personally, I think football should be all year round. Yeah. So many great athletes. I don't know about you guys, but I think that Travis Kelce might be the next O.J. Simpson. Feels good in here. The other side's got a lot of crazy endorsements. Swift, Eminem, Leo DiCaprio, Beyonce. Every day the Democratic Party looks more and more like a P. Diddy party. Oh, okay. Okay, that's what you guys want.
That's the first one that lands. Yeah, call our opponents pedophiles. That's what we want. Call them pedophiles and groomers. More of that.
All right, heck yeah, it's cool. Black guy with a thing on his head. What the hell is that? A lampshade? Look at this guy. Oh my goodness. Wow. I'm just kidding. That's one of my buddies. He had a Halloween party last night. We had fun. We carved watermelons together. It was awesome. You guys are.
So that part is kind of wild because right before that, he actually lands a joke that the audience really likes, the P. Diddy one. And he's like, oh, that's what you guys want. And he didn't even pick up on, yeah, we want you to call our opponents pedophiles and child sexual abusers. That's what we're looking for. He thought, go real racist against black people. that's what killed it. Like, you know, he's like, oh no, I got this. Don't worry, I can save this set. We got this. All right, hold on. Let me pull out the old 1990s style black stereotypes. And what the fuck? Again, like, is this all y'all got? You're doing the same shit that comedians were doing in the 90s, and it's like, yeah, black people love fried chicken and watermelon. Hilarious. Puerto Rico's garbage, literally garbage country, shithole. Lol. Wait, oh wait, this is not killing? Do you not love this? I mean, again, it might go to show that even amongst MAGA, because you got a real MAGA crowd, I'm sure they're very juiced to, you know, go after certain demographics and minorities and groups and stuff like that. Even then, they're kind of like, we're past this though, you know, like the Overton window has shifted a little bit. Got to be honest with you, you know, we prefer not to just go directly for like, you know, full blown racism towards black people. We prefer to use terms like DEI. Yeah, if you could do that, maybe you could spin DEI into it, right? Like, it's kind of gross if you're just up there screaming the N-word or stuff like that. But if you could say DEI, then we all get a pass in that we can laugh about this and not feel as overtly racist as maybe we would before.
This is a groany little morning crowd, huh? It's tough to follow this audition for the next Commissioner Gordon's over here. It is, though. It's crazy times we're living in. I mean, all these pointless wars. It is unbelievable what's happening right now. It is incredible. Ukraine versus Russia, Israel, it's like bad soccer games. Who even cares? What are we doing? Why is our money involved in these wars? When it comes to Israel and Palestine, we're all thinking the same thing. Settle your stuff already. Best out of 3. Rock, paper, scissors. You know the Palestinians are going to throw rock every time. But you also know the Jews have a hard time throwing that paper. You know what I'm saying? All right, we're having fun now. We're cooking.
Again, grotesque kind of shit. And I'm not doing this from a purely, yeah, that's pretty vile to be making jokes like this when there's a genocide going down. And then doubling down on the genocide with a whole bunch of racism towards Jewish people too. Hey, everyone got covered, okay? You know, I was derogatory towards Palestinians. I was derogatory towards Jewish people. I mean, come on. It's equal opportunity racism here.
Hillary Clinton said that this is a Nazi rally here today. Can you believe that? For the most anti-war president of my entire lifetime. And she calls him Hitler. Let me remind you, Hillary, it was your husband who...
By the way, stop letting Republicans do this whole Trump was anti-war, right? Like, he increased U.S. troops abroad after his predecessor. He increased drone strikes after his predecessor. Like, the guy was not an anti-war president by any stretch. If anything, the only guardrails that were really keeping Trump, like, tethered were the generals trying to tell him that, no, you can't do just tactical nuclear strikes on your enemies. And he's like, but why? I want to. Why can't we just nuke them? And like, he would know that could end all life on Earth, sir. Not a good idea.
Shot innocent people, or as he called them, interns. Yeah, Hillary, I bet you did not see that one coming. By the way, if I commit suicide in 3 weeks, I didn't.
You know, set's going well when you're the one laughing the most at your own jokes. Like, that's just wild. Hey, you see what he did there? He got an old Clinton joke, and then he wrapped it in with an Epstein joke, and it's just, oh man, what a set.
I mean, it's just obvious to me who the right candidate is. There's a guy out here dodging bullets. It is unbelievable, right? He took it right in the ear. Unbelievable. I thought about this. I don't know if you have. Coolest place to get shot. Like, if you're gonna get shot anywhere on your body, that's where you want it. Right there. Technically, he got shot in the head, depending on if you're a Democrat or a Republican. Right? If you're a Democrat, his ear was grazed. If you're a Republican, he survived the headshot. It is.
You gotta like the layers to this too, right? So, you know, emasculate. You know, maybe I sound a little feminine, maybe I sound a little gay, but that's the Democrats, and yeah, we were just so concerned with wokeness and PC culture and being social justice warriors, and we have pink hair. And then if you're a Republican, voice gets lower, because then you're a man, a real man, and then you know how to save this country.
It's the best place to get shot. It's the only part of the human body will drive a piercing through like a little girl's ear for no reason. Right? There's just it heals fast. Nobody cares. It's the best place to get shot. He went down, saw blood on his hands. I'd imagine he thought,
where was the joke there? I keep thinking, like, okay, he's doing the build up, the setup, we're getting there. He's going to get to the punchline, and then just next thing.
Right then, I think I just won this shit. Stands up and says the most American words I've ever heard in my life. No. Before that, there was one more. Let me get my shoes. Fearless. Perhaps still with an active shooter. He's talking like a guy that just had the best one-night stand of his life. Right? Like, where's my shoes at? I gotta get the hell out of here.
This is the closest there is to an actual joke, I think, in the entire set. And again, it still sounds like amateur night at the Comedy Hour, because it still sounds like you got the pieces of a half-decent joke there, but you still haven't put them together, so you're kind of just saying things out loud, seeing what sticks or what lands.
Let me get my shoes. And then the fight. What he did was so cool that Biden got COVID. Oh, yeah. Go back, look at the timeline of everything again. 3 days after that. That means that Biden, he didn't get that from hanging out with sick people. He was in a sterile room in the White House, watching blood running down Trump's face as he pumps his fist. Biden's like, oh, fuck. Oh, God, no. It's true. Trump survived an assassination attempt, and Biden got COVID. We vote next week. God voted 3 months ago. Another great Austin, Texas resident, Elon Musk, will be speaking here later today. Unbelievable. Genius. You guys saw him shoot that rocket into outer space, the largest aircraft ever, fires it off into space, and then parallel parks it back to planet Earth. Meanwhile, Kamala supporters can't parallel park their Toyota Priuses properly.
Oof. God, this is so painful. I had seen some of the clips, obviously the ones that are doing the rounds, the really racist ones, and like, yeah, I was like, fucking hell, just racist cringe. But even the jokes that are supposed to be non-racist, I guess the sexist jokes, fucking cringe as fuck too. Also, Elon Musk doesn't do that shit. Not a rocket scientist. Not the one that actually has, a team of people who are surrounding him, and he's like, well, here's how we work on propulsion. That's not, he just tells them do things. And sometimes they're ridiculous. It's like, hey, by the way, I want to put a Tesla in space. Why? Because it's epic, and it'll be really cool when it gets up there, and everyone can look at it and be like, yeah, he just did that shit, And I have the money, so do it. Do the thing I want right now. So put the Tesla in space.
Sorry, I listen to Elon Musk. I follow his lead. The world's smartest, richest man has my attention. Except for when it comes to stock trading, then I listen to Nancy Pelosi. But censorship is amongst us, people. It's a very, very, very big deal. And I'm just here to say that you guys are for the right candidate. Tell your friends. Let's close it out. And let's make speech free again, make America healthy again. Let's beat the team.
Make America Healthy Again is a reference to RFK Jr. and his campaign. And essentially Trump has said that he's going to be giving him like fucking all the power he needs to make sure that RFK Jr. can be responsible for your health care in America, which that is a frightening concept if ever I heard one, you know, like just goddamn brain worms for everybody, you know.
Team from California. The team from New York should beat the team from California, not only in this election, but in the World Series of baseball, America's sport. I love you, New York. God bless New York. God bless America. Let's make it great again. I love you. Thank you. Welcome.
That was fucking horrible. Worse than I thought. Now, while that is probably the one making the most amount of news, there's obviously a lot of speakers who've been saying a lot of like really horrifying things, including, you know, speeches saying that they need to, America is only for Americans, you know, very like keep Britain for the British style stuff. This speech talking about eliminating their opponents at the ballot box, that kind of stuff, you know. What you said reminds me exactly of how Bill Burr described Steve Jobs and Conan years ago. I don't know if I've seen that, but that's a real comedian, that Bill Burr, you know. Trump's lawyer who arrives dancing.
We will not fail.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage attorney and senior advisor to President Donald J. Trump, Alina Habba.
All I do is win, 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 no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get it up.
I'm gonna turn this down so I don't get copyright striked, but I'm sure you get the idea. This is just such a funny entrance too. Like, look at my lawyer, dog. Guilty on all counts. She's not really good at what she does. She's not, but you know, getting that hype thanks to DJ Khaled.
The gangs are gone. America is for Americans and Americans only. One man.
Right there. And it's not even that subtle, right? America is for Americans only. He means white people, right? Like that's what he's getting at there. The same thing you hear a lot of, like, you know, racist ass British politicians always use that line. Keep Britain for the British. Keep Britain for the British. I was like, what do you mean by the British? Why do you keep saying it like that?
Street media. This country was built on hard work, added value, and talent, not on equal outcome.
That's just so wild when, like, the reality is that it was built on genocide and slavery. Like, you know, slaves built the White House.
Not on DEI. This country was built on hard work. By the way,
there's Tucker Carlson saying it's going to be pretty tough for them. Say, Kamala Harris, she got 85 million votes because she's so impressive. As the first Samoan Malaysian, neither of those things, low IQ former California prosecutor ever to be elected president.
At that moment, it's going to be pretty tough for them 10 days from now to look in the eye to America with a straight face. It's going to be pretty hard to look at us and say, you know what, Kamala Harris, she got 85 million votes because she's just so impressive. As the first Samoan, Malaysian, low IQ, former California prosecutor ever to be elected president, it was just a groundswell of popular support.
And he got way too excited. You could just, like, he's just losing it, right? Fucking muppeting all over the place here.
And anyone who thinks otherwise is just a freak or a criminal. At this stage of the game, after 9 years of listening to their lies and finding every single one of them totally false, no, it's not safe and effective, and no, she's not impressive. It's very hard for me to believe the rest of us are going to say, you know what, Joe Scarborough, you're right. You're right. She won fair and square because she's just so impressive. I don't think so. And to me, that is liberation. It's the freedom to say what's obviously true as a free man and not a slave. And I just want to say thank you, Donald Trump, for that.
So that's some of Tucker Carlson's white supremacist ramblings. There was a speaker who literally called Kamala Harris the devil, the Antichrist.
In fact, she is the devil, whoever screamed that out. She is the Antichrist. All right.
It's also wild because he's such a cringy dude. I think the whole world learned how cringe he was at that like Dave Chappelle comedy special where it's just like, yeah, this isn't cute, you know? Like I know some people like to find it quaint. It's like, oh, he's a big nerd. He's silly, right? But like you don't get to be cute when you're the richest man in the world now endorsing and speaking at a fascist rally. None of it is cute. Right? It's magnified the cringe beyond belief. And of course, we've got what is called the, I believe, dark Gothic MAGA hat. And yes, I will be going into Alejandra Caraballo's exploration of the specific font used for this hat. It's not Harry Potter, just to give you all a preview. It is not the Harry Potter font.
As you can see, I'm not just MAGA, I'm dark Gothic MAGA. Well, it's the energy.
Is this like related to men generally being obsessed with Gothic women? Is that it? And the internet as well? And then MAGA constantly trying to be like, hey, by the way, we even got goth girls. Look at that, goth girls. They're attending Trump rallies and stuff. And I'm like, none of this is goth. What do you think goth is?
In this room is incredible. What a great group of people.
All right, I've only got one question for you, then I'm getting out of here because this is your stage. But we set up Doge.
Yes.
How much do you think we can rip out of this wasted $6.5 trillion Harris-Biden budget?
Well, I think we can do at least $2 trillion.
Yeah!
Yes.
$2 trillion.
What does any of that even mean? Like, that's, like, I know it's English. I know there's sentences with commas and periods, but, like, what about Doge? How much can we rip out of the deficit with Doge, the cryptocurrency meme coin that, again, I think is at like maybe 10 cents a Doge value currently?
I mean, at the end of the day, you're being taxed. You're being taxed. All government spending is taxation. So whether it's direct taxation or all government spending, it either becomes inflation or it's direct taxation. Your money is being wasted, and the Department of Government Efficiency is going to fix that. We're going to get the government off your back and out of your pocketbook.
Again, like just wild proclamations. I know Donald Trump has kind of he said on Joe Rogan's podcast that he effectively wants to eliminate federal income tax and they're going to replace it, I guess, with Doge. Maybe that's the plan. But yeah, this pitch works. Like, you know, what, that one song by that one dude, can't even remember his name, and the Republicans don't remember him either, so I guess he's just going to be lost to history. But, you know, singing about how, like, it's so hard to be a working man, you know, the government pocketing your teat, all that kind of stuff. And then eventually it's like, because rich welfare recipients buy fudge rounds with your hard tax dollars, like, it's always like, hey, by the way, you know the real problem? It's immigrants. And if you don't think it's immigrants, it's the government. The government taxes you, and then they give all your taxes to people who don't want to work. And that's why the system's broken. That's not how the system works at all. But, oh, wow, a lot of people believe this, especially being told by the richest human being on the planet. You've got the richest human in the world being like, by the way, taxes, that's a scam. Yeah, it's a massive scam. Don't worry, you can trust me. I've got no vested interest in this whatsoever. But you should all hate taxes and taxation. Stop taxing companies. Let them thrive, all right? It's not fair. Stop taxing rich people. Let them thrive. If you let us thrive, the richest people in the world, we'll trickle it down. I mean, if you're really, really nice and good, maybe you can drink some of our piss. That's the whole idea. Reagan said it, and we've been trying ever since. And sure, it's been disastrous, and it has exacerbated inequality, but one day it's eventually going to start tasting good.
And America's just not just going to be great. America is going to reach heights that it has never seen before. The future is going to be amazing! Now, guys are awesome. Honestly, this is like...
I can't even make out what they're saying. Piss. Rudy talked about the genocide taking place in Gaza.
September 11 was our darkest hour. October 7 was Israel's darkest hour. They are our best friends.
Why does he always sound like he's trying to pass a kidney stone when he finishes a sentence? Was Israel's darkest hour.
And I worked for Ronald Reagan for 8 years. Ronald Reagan said, we have to be there for Israel always because they are always there for us.
And the Everything app kind of sucks. Seems like I can't do anything. Genuinely one of the worst video players of all the different media I use.
They won't let a Palestinian in Jordan. They won't let a Palestinian in Egypt. And Harris wants to bring them to you. They may have good people. I'm sorry I don't take a risk with people that are taught to kill Americans at 2. I'm on the side of Israel. You're on the side of Israel. Donald Trump's on the side of Israel. And they're on the side of the terrorists.
Again, it's one of those moments where I think, like, Americans, y'all should be doing everything in your power to effectively, for the first time, make this a polarizing, dividing issue. It could be an issue where, sure, Republicans support Israel and Democrats stop doing that. Let AIPAC and all these other organizations be fundamentally in line with Republicans and Republican values, because ultimately, I mean, they use the term Palestinian as a fucking insult. The Frankfurter font, popular in Nazi Germany. He wore this at a rally meant to evoke at the 1939 Nazi rally that took place as well in Madison Square Garden. He's telling you who he is. Picture of the hat. Nonetheless, Frachter typefaces were particularly heavily used during the early years of the Nazi era when they were initially represented as true German script. In fact, the press was scolded for its frequent use of the Roman character under Jewish influence, and German emigres were urged to use only German script. So here's a picture of Der Stürmer. This is Dr. Magnus Hirschfeld, considered to be the most dangerous Jews in Germany, and allowed, again, the persecution of the Dr. Magnus Hirschfeld Institute of Sexology, which was the Nazis directly targeting the LGBTQ plus community as well. That was the first mass book burning in Nazi Germany. Hitler formed his ultra-nationalistic Third Reich. In 1935, it was declared Germany's official script and appeared on all public documents, including stamps. Frachter was used in railway stations and on airplanes. It was taught in schools as the basic script, and almost all newspapers were exclusively in Frachter font. And so, like, a lot of people, this just filled with comments of being like, reach much, fucking reach. Yeah, I can't believe you're trying to, this is the Harry Potter font. It's pretty easy to find out that it was, in fact, not Potter font, by the way. This is what the Harry Potter font looks like. Okay? With special little wizard fucking bolts to represent the bolt that Voldemort gives Harry, that's cursed on his face when he tried to kill his parents, but it deflected onto Harry. This is the wizard bolt. It's very distinct and clear. This is what the font looks like. And this image, which is already being broadcast by all the right, Tim Pool, Jack Pasebic, all these fucking ghouls. Yeah, they're already planting the seed that this election was also stolen. That's, look, hey, we told you. Look how, I mean, this is a very striking visual image, isn't it? Burnt votes. What if every one of those was Trump votes? I mean, we'll never know, but what look at that. It's already started. Extremely dangerous. We've had Democratic campaign offices in Arizona shot up and a ballot box burnt. Now ballot boxes in Oregon and Washington are now set on fire. The right is willing to use violence to steal this election. Arizona man charged over 3 shootings at Democratic office. Phoenix police ID suspect in connection with mailbox fire where the ballots are burned. And again, it's just wild to me that, like, you know, it might actually be dangerous to vote in certain district scenarios because, again, this is how extreme the far right are getting. And then they're willing to actually, you know, commit acts of massive violence to try and prevent people from doing democracy because they're anti-democratic, as fascists often are.
Hey, if you'd like to unlock secret bonus episodes as well as uncensored content, go to patreon.com/The Serfs. This show is produced by Anna Loves Riley, Arian McCarthy, Cheryl Alvarez, Comrade Junkie, Doug Caddy, Everything Important, Hagbard Celine, Jimmy Sombrero, Multimondi, Omni, Political Poppy, Preston Kroll, Quiet 185, Riley and Anna, Roller Dragon, Cernicus, Stellar Gwyn, Sebastian Demel, Travis McClinton, Trincell, Words Greenwood, with additional support coming from all of these amazing human beings right here.